Star Trek Starfleet Academy is officially canceled. It is done. It's over. It's dead, Jim.
Shocker.
Good riddance. Yeah, we're going to talk about this because, look, everybody saw this coming. The ratings were not good. The show was very divisive. And most importantly, the contract with Secret Hideout is up, which means the Kurtzman era of Star Trek is over. I just hope to God they erase the Kelvin timeline completely from Star Trek. And we know the Ellisons are huge Star Trek fans, so you know they're gonna look for a reboot that they have a little more input into. People are like, oh, it's gonna be Trump Trek.
Well, I was gonna say, you know what's gonna happen now? This they're not renewing it because general audiences didn't watch it. People just didn't watch it across the board. It's not what this group or that group. It's just in general, no one watched the show. So now the same people that, you know, were mad because they liked the show and they were triggered, people didn't, are going to go around saying, it's the haters who got the show canceled. It's like, no, it's the lack of give a shit from general audiences that got the show canceled. Most people don't even know who the haters are, care what they say. It's once again that the audience at large rejected it.
Yeah, and this thing, I mean, it didn't track on the streaming charts. It would occasionally show up, I guess, when on Paramount's own metrics, but wasn't like on the Nielsen's or anything like that. Nobody cared. People looked at it, they thought it looked stupid. Lots of controversial changes to Star Trek canon and like Pride Parade Klingons and what the fuck.
I know.
You know, seriously,
it was definitely a vehicle for agenda. Let's be honest. And then don't give me the whole, well, Gene Roddenberry always was progressive. Yeah, but he did it like the pill and the ice cream. You guys aren't even bothering with the ice cream. You've got like a bullet bill-sized suppository you're trying to shove up someone's ass and say you have to love it. You have to love it.
Yeah, I'm loving it. I was watching some clips of All in the Family and the Jeffersons the other night, and Norman Lear, very, very progressive guy, right? And he still managed to tell an entertaining story, and he wasn't ham-fisted, but actually, guys like Norman Lear, I have to wonder if they wouldn't be viewed as being on the more conservative end of the spectrum now, even though he was pushing more progressive ideas because everything has gone so far left.
Well, that's so many people keep saying that. They're like, I always was on the left, but now everything else has gone so far left that apparently I agree with Republicans now, you know, and it is what it is.
Yeah. So let's talk about this. This, again, shouldn't surprise anyone. Before we get into any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. Guys, you'll get woohoo if you do.
Woohoo.
This is Kneon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And I don't think she's been in a lot of the Star Trek videos because she does not give a shit.
But this is just indicative of a problem we keep seeing, which is like the Acolyte, same thing. People didn't watch because they didn't care. They have no interest in it, and they'll go and they'll blame, oh, it's the YouTubers and the haters, and that's why it's failed. And it's like you honestly think that one, you keep claiming we don't have that much power, and two, most normies don't even know who those people are, who we are.
Yeah, so this show was like, look, it obviously was greenlit before the regime change at Paramount. And it's one of those things where I think it was actually kind of sent out to die because there really was not a lot of promotion for it leading up to it. And it was very obvious, given the reaction to the, just the leaked photos and the synopsis, that people weren't going to like this show, right? A lot of people weren't going to like this show, but they had a contractual obligation to get it out the door, and that's it. And they're going to flush it. People are going to forget about it in 5 years, and hopefully we'll have a much better era of Star Trek going forward. Call up Seth MacFarlane. Seth MacFarlane, of all the people in this world, Seth MacFarlane gets the assignment better than the people that are in charge of, like, quote unquote, real Star Trek. I don't understand. So I said, yeah, it's wrapped up its second season. They're not doing any more. They knew that there's a big question mark over whether or not they're going to do any more. And I said in the last video, I'm like, it's over. They're not going to, like, I would be incredibly shocked if they did any more. The show was originally picked up in 2023 with the streamer renewing the show for a second season before the first had aired.
Hurry up and get it in because we know it's probably going to do shit.
It was 10 episode season. So it was 20 episodes total,
right, so
which
is
one season split in two. Come on.
It's a Netflix season.
It's a Netflix season, right? It's net. So yeah, it's Variety.
That's actually like 4 seasons on Netflix, but
it is. It's like Netflix seasons, like 3 episode season, and then I've got to wait like 2 years for 3 more episodes. The first season debuted in January and aired its season finale on March 12th, while the second season recently wrapped production. We're incredibly proud of the ambition, passion, and creativity that went into bringing Star Trek Starfleet Academy to life, said CBS Studios and Paramount in a joint statement. The series introduced audiences to a bold new group of characters, welcomed familiar faces, and expanded the Star Trek universe in exciting new ways. We're grateful to Alex Kurtzman, Noga Lando, Gaya Voala, people whose names I can't pronounce. We look forward to sharing the upcoming second and final season with everyone and continuing to celebrate the cast, crew, and all that was accomplished with this series. They're not throwing them under the bus.
What was accomplished with the series?
Diversity.
Besides divisiveness.
Diversity.
But it always was diverse. That's one thing, because when the first Star Trek came out, like you had the first, mixed race kiss and all that stuff,
Right.
It always was diverse. So yeah. But you guys have taken that and then, shoehorned all kinds of other stuff into it. So you didn't invent diversity in Star Trek. So what was the point?
The point was exactly just Tumblr fanfic shit, right?
Yeah, that's the point.
Okay. So here it is. This is coming from Variety. This is an industry, a supposedly reputable industry rag, which also shit on Chuck Norris, by the way. But they're saying it. The first season of Starfleet Academy reached an 87% critical approval rating on Rotten Tomatoes. Okay, but the show failed to find a significant audience across its 10-episode first season. It has failed to rank on the Nielsen top 10 streaming viewership charts, and there wasn't a lot of competition.
Exactly, because nobody watched it.
Yeah. And it doesn't help that you've got people associated with the show getting into it with people online and all that shit. Robert Picardo, and come on already. Yeah, it's just not. It was never going to work. It was never going to work. So this is like everybody just going on. Kurtzman's like, oh, everybody, we love it. Now remember, Gene Roddenberry's son said that he was actually very excited about the future of Star Trek. So I think he knew this shit was dead. And it gets weirder. You weren't here for that. I did a short. William Shatner has the official Star Trek Online game blocked on Twitter.
Wow.
William Shatner. Okay. So I think there's
they do to get themselves
I know, right?
blocked.
Yeah. So I'm sitting here like, what the hell is going on? I feel like there is definitely some infighting in the Star Trek space. And Kurtzman, they probably were just letting him ride his contract out, but it's over.
We can just ruin it. Wait, so yeah, his contract's almost over. He knows he's going to get renewed. So let's just throw all that shit in one show and let it fly. And look, a lot of shows, to be fair, might get like 1 or 2 seasons, and they could be even arguably good shows, and there's not interest in it from the general public, so they get canceled. It has nothing to do with the chuds and the haters. It's just that people didn't care. Like there's other shows that were actually good shows that got canceled because people didn't care. It is what it is.
Yeah. So his deal's over. Kurtzman and Secret Hideout, they're done, but they're looking for another deal for him. So he might get to do Hawaii 5-0.
I was going to say, what's he going to ruin next?
Because, there's a massive fan base for Hawaii 5-0, I guess, in 2026. They said there are 2 more seasons of Strange New Worlds to come. Yeah, so this is, okay. So this stuff is already filmed. It's already over with. It's already done. They already announced the ending of Strange New Worlds. And Anson Mount, too. Like, something's definitely going on, because I tweeted that, too. Anson Mount, who plays Pike, he, is very outspoken about his politics, whatever, but he actually apologized to Christians. I was very surprised.
Yeah, do you know why?
He got called out for it. He took the tweet down, and he was complaining
about.
He
can learn.
Well, I think they're starting to realize that it's not a good thing to attack a large portion of your potential audience. Like, you can have your opinions, but to go out there and just kind of run people down is not good.
Yeah, remember before social media when you didn't know what they thought and it was okay, you could just be a fan and it was fine.
Yeah, and it was fine. But this doesn't surprise me at all. I mean, that's the thing. Like, you can. The one thing you can't do in Hollywood is you cannot scrub out. You cannot cost the studio money indefinitely, or that's it. It's over with. And all of this kind of goes back to what we talked about in the video with the Project Hail Mary, where it does feel like Hollywood collectively is like, you know what, we're over the woke shit. It doesn't work. Nobody wants it. We're just hitting the reset button, and I hope to God they can fix Star Wars. I'm on some level, I'm kind of sitting here like maybe they'll
But
get a
even
clue.
if they did, like they're trying to do D&D and stuff, are people going to come back? Because I think
I
they're
don't
going
know.
to be like, it gets to a point where you're just you're always going to be waiting for their shoe to drop, or
Yeah.
you're like, you guys like talk shit about the fan base for years.
Yeah, so they're not real happy on BlueSky.
Oh, shocker. Let me guess. They're blaming the YouTubers
Yep.
and the haters, even though they
Yep.
somehow don't have any, that no one listens to them, yet they are able to control everything at the same time.
No, yeah. So that I don't understand. They're like, you're just a vocal minority. Then like a movie that they like tanks, and they're like, it was the Chuds. It was all the Chuds' fault. It's like Schrodinger's Chuds.
You can't be both, people.
You can't be both.
It's
It's
called
either
the general public didn't care.
right, and that's the thing. The general public did not care. I think honestly, the general public tuned out from Star Trek after Discovery. They're like, yeah, this is shit, and they never even tuned in for occasionally Strange New Worlds wasn't terrible. But the singing, dancing Klingons, I'm like, yeah, I'm out, man. There's no way. So this is Mark, drumroll, please, on BlueSky. The bitter irony, those claiming to protect Star Trek helped end one of its most genuine expressions. Starfleet Academy carried the torch of hope and diversity, exactly what Gene envisioned.
Not what Gene envisioned.
Bravo to a spectacular cast of characters.
Let me fix it for you. I'm going to go back up. I'm going to refix okay. The bitter irony that the show I like got canceled. But hey, I guess the general public didn't want to watch it. There, fixed it. Because that's what happened. You're going to blame it immediately. They're going to blame it. It's because of toxic masculinity, racist, sexist. I was like, no, it's called people didn't care.
Ben here says they think if they boycott a Star Trek show, then they'll get the show they want next time. Well, there's a better chance of getting a reroll.
Wait, Ben. Then you're going to sit here and tell us that there was such a great big number of chuds that boycotted the show, and that's why it's canceled. I thought they were a vocal minority, and that what they said didn't matter. Because at the end of the day, it's neither. The general public didn't watch the damn show.
Studio execs' takeaway is actually that they're not watching Star Trek, so we know more make Star Trek. No, actually, what? Oh, they not watch Star Trek. We know more make Star Trek. I see what you did there. Okay, so here, no, actually, Ben, the Ellisons who own Paramount now are massive Star Trek fans, and there already have been conversations about taking Star Trek kind of back to its roots. They already have a movie in development. There will be more Star Trek. It just won't look anything like Starfleet Academy.
But again, if Starfleet Academy was so big and everybody loved it and watched the shit out of it and thought it was the greatest thing ever, I don't think they'd be canceling it.
This guy here, he gets it. So I'm supposed to watch every piece of shit Star Trek show that gets pumped out because I want more Star Trek. Did I hear that right? Yeah, you're supposed to. That's what these people think.
With Star Wars. They did the same thing with Star Wars and stuff too.
Yeah. They're like, no, you need to support the acolytes so we get more, whatever. This is
isn't it funny though? You need to support things so we get more of it. But then if you don't support, but these are the same people that are like, well, we can't separate the art from the artist, so I won't support them anymore. So it's a double standard.
And they're also like, if you don't like it, don't watch it. Fine, your terms are acceptable. I will not watch it. Yeah, you didn't watch it, and they did that with the Acolyte too. They're like, Star Wars fans wouldn't watch it. I'm like, you literally told people not to watch it if it wasn't for them.
Next one's Friendly Skeleton. This is the same playbook run against Star Wars. Vloggers create endless grudge content and claim it's the fans talking. This is not something execs should be programming around. Except Friendly Skeleton, I'm assuming that's why you don't have a fucking brain, is the fact that people aren't watching it. They're not watching the show because normies don't want to watch it. They're not watching Star Wars because they don't want to watch it. You guys keep running with these narratives, and it's like, okay, in a perfect world, you get your way, but this isn't in the real world. People don't show up or don't watch it or don't engage or don't, support the content across the board. Not just the vloggers. They don't even, most of them haven't even heard of either. They don't go, so they don't run it anymore. Or they just change direction, or they stop making it because there's not enough interest in it to warrant spending the money to do it.
Variety
it really isn't hard.
Variety, the same outlet that shit on Chuck Norris when he died, right? Variety, they just they just said that it's because of the ratings. It didn't even crack the Nielsen's top 10, and there wasn't a lot of competition. They dropped it in January, thinking, that's safe because there's not. No, it didn't crack the top 10. And how much does this damn thing cost? That's probably why I got 2 seasons, because they had to build the sets and the costumes and all that shit. So they're going to give it at least somewhat of a fair shake. But
there's this thing called business and math. And you know what? It's really funny how that works.
Oh, my God. Imagine the pressure Gene has to resist to get his vision enacted. We need that spirit today. Yeah, because Gene had to fight, and then the fans, had a writing campaign and all that. But Gene's son is even like, I can't wait for the future of Star Trek, because I think he's like,
under Ellison.
Yeah, because this shit's not working. He has to say nice things because he's one of the producers, but I think he's like, yeah. Oh God, here it comes. Not surprised. Paramount's owned by the oligarchs.
I hate to break it to Gwonk about what most of the companies are owned by.
Paramount is owned by white nationalist oligarchs that hate diversity and inclusion. They'll do anything to delete DEI from the records, hurt whoever they want, destroy whatever they can to do it. They will destroy everything Star Trek ever stood for.
Well. Okay, Tracy, here's an idea. Get off your ass, get rich, and then go buy it.
Yeah, right?
But beyond that, they're like oligarchs. I'm like, who the fuck do you think owns all these companies? Really, seriously, who do you think owns these things?
Where do these people come from? BlueSky, obviously. I can't help. This is Himbo Bright, except for Rainbow Bright. I can't help but feel that the recent merging of Paramount and Skydance, and it's not so subtle, leaning into being a conservative mega conglomerate, had a part in this. I see a lot of shows favored by progressives getting canceled because they don't pay. Nobody watches them, Himbo.
Because these dumbasses, I don't know, maybe they're all on social services, so they're used to not having to actually do any work, but just keep getting money, and they don't understand that things cannot exist without the finances coming in to pay for it.
Yeah, they're aliens, but they can't be gay. No, the Klingons, come on, the Klingons. Like I was watching
bullshit. The Orville has that gay people on, and no one cares because they're done well. Yeah. They're done well. Who cares?
If you look at who owns Paramount, you will see who the real villains in this are.
If you look in a mirror, you'll see what a moron looks like.
Okay, here we go. Gene envisioned really good writing. This was puerile screenwriting at the level of community college. Community college food court. Fear not, some jabroni producer will talk someone to try again. They're already working on another version of Star Trek. It might, but it won't be their
version. That's the problem. It might actually be well written, and they won't like it.
Oh God, I don't believe this can be blamed on assholes who can't cope with not getting the show they each personally wanted, as if that's even possible. And this show did bring a new generation of viewers in. Who?
No, it didn't.
Nobody's watching it.
However, you started out strong with you can't blame it on everybody else. But go ahead.
So I wonder what the Ellison happened to cause a cancellation of a show promoting diversity.
Well, I think Ellisons wanted out of it, but I also think it wasn't bringing the viewership in. And it wasn't bringing variety. They didn't have it. It wasn't there. Cry harder.
Yeah, East Coast Jay says the show didn't bring in a new generation of viewers. That's the fucking problem. They made a young adult show, and young adults aren't watching it. It's rumored to have cost $10 million an episode.
Oh, damn.
And it's the least viewed Star Trek in 10 years. Yeah,
I've seen some other Star Trek in the last 10 years.
I mean,
something.
I didn't watch any of Discovery. I did watch some of Strange New Worlds until they started singing and dancing. Then I was out, and I did like season 3 of Picard, but season 1 made me angry. I got 2 episodes into it. I'm like, fuck this. I'm not even gonna subject myself. Next Generation is one of my favorite shows of all time. I'm like, I'm not even gonna subject myself to watching this shit because it's not Star Trek. It's just not. So, anybody could have seen this coming. It costs too much. Nobody watches it.
Well, they couldn't see it coming because they were too busy staring at the rainbow. They didn't see the Big Mac truck that was, casting the reflection of the rainbow to begin with.
Oh my God. Look up in the sky. It's the rainbow. Bam.
Yeah.
So there we go. So RIP, whatever. Everybody knew this was dead on arrival. Moving on. Let's move on to some good stuff.
RIP, do you mean rest in peace or rest in piss?
Yeah, well, it depends on who you ask, right? Are we going to wrap it up?
Yes.
Please subscribe. We'll talk later.
Bye.